So have you heard the latest buzz in the AI world? It's all about something called Clawdbot. It's this new open source project that's getting a ton of attention, and for a really good reason. It promises to put a super powerful, personal AI agent right onto your own computer. So let's break it down and figure out what Clawdbot is, what it can do, and why this amazing new tool also comes with some pretty serious warnings.
You might be thinking, a whole new computer for one piece of software? That sounds a little extreme, right? But there's actually a pretty smart reason for it. You see, Clawdbot isn't just another chatbot. It's an AI agent that gets deep access to your system. So running it on its own separate, isolated machine, that's a powerful way to unlock its potential, while trying to manage some very, very real risks.
So in this explainer, we're going to cover the whole shebang. We'll kick things off with what Clawdbot actually is, and then we'll dive into its incredible second brain abilities. After that, we'll look at what it takes to get it up and running, face the serious power and peril it represents, and finally, help you figure out if this is something you should even mess with right now.
Okay, so first things first, let's cut right through the hype. There's a lot of chatter out there, but what are we actually talking about when we say Clawdbot?
Think of it like this. Clawdbot is a program you install on your own machine, whether that's a shiny new Mac Mini on your desk or a server somewhere in the cloud. It then hooks into your favorite messaging app, like Telegram or Slack. This lets you chat with an AI that has a direct line into your computer's files and capabilities.
And this is super important, because this is where a lot of people get confused. Clawdbot, that's C-L-A-W-D-B-O-T, is not made by Anthropic. It's not the Claude AI model. The best way to think of Clawdbot is as the powerful glue. It's the thing that connects your chat apps to any of the big AI models you want to use, whether that's Claude or Gemini or something else.
All right, now for the really cool part. Let's talk about why people are calling this thing a second brain. Because honestly, its capabilities go way, way beyond just answering a few questions. And this is where that whole second brain idea really comes to life. It's not a simple chatbot. It has a persistent memory, which means it actually learns about you over time. It can have full access to your system to create files or browse the web. Through plugins, it connects to your whole digital life, your Gmail, your calendar, your Notion, and it can even be proactive, doing things it thinks you'll find useful without you even asking. It all comes together to create this seamless assistant you can talk to from anywhere.
So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, you could be in the middle of a chat and just casually say, "Hey, add zucchinis to my shopping list." And boom, it does it.
Or you could ask it to schedule a coffee meeting for you. It'll just go right into your Google Calendar and create the event. It's like a real-life assistant.
But it can handle way more complex stuff too. Imagine asking it to research interview questions for a job, go find the best ones online, and then save a nice, clean summary directly to a new page in your Notion. That's a whole multi-step task that it just handles. Okay, so I bet you're thinking, this sounds absolutely amazing. But how technical do I need to be to set this up? Well, you do need to be comfortable with a command line, but there are basically two main paths you can take. You can go the dedicated machine route, which gives you a really secure, isolated little sandbox for your agent to live in, but of course that comes with the cost of the hardware. Or you can set it up on a cloud server like AWS. That can be free to start and it's always on, but you've got to be really careful with the configuration to avoid opening up security holes.
The installation itself is actually a guided process. You get your server ready, you run one command to install everything, connect your favorite AI model with an API key, link it up to your chat app, and then you get to do the fun part, giving your agent a name and a personality.
And this brings us to a really, really important part of the story. Because with all this incredible power comes some pretty significant risk. This is not a toy, and you absolutely have to understand the dangers before you even think about unleashing it.
This quote from one of the folks who's been playing with it really says it all. Unlike the commercial chatbots that have all these safety features built in, Clawdbot is open source. It has no guardrails. It really is like a living thing that's been let loose with the same permissions you have on your computer.
So the risks really boil down to three big things. First, security. This is brand new software and it hasn't been hardened against attacks. Second, cost. Because it can just decide to do things on its own, it can chew through millions of tokens, think of them like little pieces of words, and run up massive API bills. And third, control. AI models can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying they make stuff up. An agent with full system access that makes a mistake, well, that can have very real consequences.
And let's make that cost risk real for a second. Some of the first people using this have woken up to API bills of hundreds of dollars per day, all because the agent decided to go off and start some complex project all by itself. This is a real financial risk you have to watch like a hawk.
But the risk goes way beyond just money. What happens when an unpredictable AI that has access to all your personal files and all your contacts does something you didn't expect?
And this isn't just some wild hypothetical. It's a real scenario people are talking about. Because it can see your data and take actions, it could, in theory, decide all on its own to send a message that you would never, ever, ever want sent. It just shows you how careful you really need to be.
So, with all that on the table, the incredible power on one hand and the very serious dangers on the other, how do you decide if Clawdbot is something you should try right now?
Well, this little chart should help you figure it out. If you're on the left side of this list, you're a developer or a hobbyist, you're comfortable in the terminal, and you're willing to run this on a separate machine while keeping an eye on the costs, then this could be an amazing new world to explore. But if you're on the right side, if you're a non-technical user, have strict privacy needs, or you're just not prepared for surprise bills, then it is absolutely better to wait and let this technology mature.
You know, Clawdbot is such a fascinating peek into the future of computing, a future where we each have these powerful AI agents working for us. But it also forces us to stop and ask a really critical question. It's not just about whether the technology is ready for us, but are we as people truly ready for AI agents that can act all on their own?